Chapter 5 Crafts and Industries. After the British had set up their rule in India, they started to treat India as their colony and started exploiting it in all the possible ways. The economic policies of the British ruined the economy of India. Industries declined and the common people suffered at the hands of the new rulers. Profit was the main motive of the British. It was a period of growing landless labourers, heavy indebtedness of peasants, and rising illiteracy and poverty. Decline of Indian textiles. By the late 18th century, the textile industry of India had declined considerably because of a reduction in demand. Weavers, spinners, dyers, printers, and others associated with the industry had begun to leave their traditional occupations. Many reasons were responsible for this decline. High duty on Indian textile. The increasing demand of Indian textile in England raised the eyebrows of local textile manufacturers. They began to put pressure on their government to ban the import of Indian textiles. So, in 1720, the government in Britain passed the Calico Act, which banned the import of printed cotton cloth into England. The British government also imposed high duties on other Indian cloth coming into Britain. This meant that the Indian cloth that reached England was more expensive than the locally produced cloth. The demand for Indian cloth decreased, and the industry suffered in India. Industrial Revolution in Europe. The Industrial Revolution revolutionized the textile industry in Britain. Cloth began to be made on machines. This made it cheaper than cloth made by hand. The Indian craftsmen who made cloth by hand had to compete with the machine-made cloth of Britain. Indian textiles also lost out to British textiles on the issue of price in the European and American market. India as a vast market. The British found India as a vast market for their machine-made goods. The Industrial Revolution was already in full swing, and Britain began to dump its finished textiles in India. India, once the world's leading exporter, was now forced to become an importer. Growth of modern industries. Since the beginning of the British rule in India, the British did not take even a single step regarding the industrial development. However, despite the reluctance of the British to start modern industries in India, the process of industrialization started in India from the 1850s. Most mills were set up by wealthy Indian businessmen. Cotton textiles. The first cotton textile mill was set up in Bombay in 1854 by Kawasji Nanabhai. Bombay was an ideal center for setting up mills as it had easy access to raw cotton, which was grown in the black soil region of western India. By 1900, nearly 100 mills were operating in Bombay. Later, many more mills were set up, especially in Ahmedabad and Kanpur. Iron and steel. The early 20th century saw the beginning of development in iron and steel industry. The Tata Iron and Steel Company, TISCO, was set up at Sakshi, now Jamshedpur, by Jamshedji Tata. By 1912, it became fully operational. Soon, many iron and steel factories were set up in Bengal and Mysore. Other industries. Coal mining started in a big way from the mid-19th century. The coal mines of Bihar, Bengal, and Odisha supplied coal for use in railways, other industries, and for smelting iron ore to make steel. Other industries that received a spurt of growth during this period were sugar, cement, paper, matches, and glass. Industrial development in India. It was only during the period of the First World War, 1914 to 1918, when British industries were busy meeting the demands of the military, that industries in India received major orders, both from the domestic and the export market. Most industries in India were owned by the British, who utilized the profits for the development of their own native land. There was also no effort to develop industries in India in a uniform and sustained manner. While sporadic progress was witnessed in some areas, other regions remained largely backward.